The G.I. Joe classified line's been around for a while now, and I don't think when it started, any of us really thought they would get to over 200 figures as of the filming of this video, but here we are. But that doesn't mean they're going to stop anytime soon, and let's discuss what we think we'll see in the future. So, if you've been a fan of this channel, we used to do speculation videos like this all the time, and you know what? It's time to get back to our roots, so we're going to do another speculation video on what we can expect to join the G.I. Joe classified line in the coming waves, but we're going to do it a little bit different. This time we took to Twitter, posted the question, what do you think will be the next figures or the next vehicles to be revealed? And we got some of our top answers, and we're going to go over them right now. But first, if you do enjoy what we're doing here on the channel, think about hitting that like button and as well hitting that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. We really appreciate all the views. As of right now, a lot of you out there watching the videos haven't subscribed, and we'd love to make you part of the team. Now, like I mentioned at the top of the video, normally I just go through my personal ideas and we go through and we talk about it, what's going to happen, what might not happen, but we've got some more input now from the community. We went to Twitter, we got some answers, and let's go over what we heard. So while we currently do have a few pipeline releases left that have not been properly revealed as of yet, we're talking new things that potentially could come down the line. Now, of course, one has to assume at some point we will get Grand Slam and Flash to finish off that original 13 run of the G.I. Joe figures. So I think that's fairly obvious that is coming at some point, when we don't know, but sometime soon for sure. Now, combing through the data, we did get some unique names here, and I have to be honest, I was surprised to see names like Hardball, Charbroil, and Captain Gridiron show up a bunch within the community here on Twitter. Captain Gridiron's a weird little character, man. I was never a huge fan of him, but it's interesting to see that he does have a following out there on social media. So it'd be interesting to see if the G.I. Joe team does bring these sort of more obscure G.I. Joes to the classified line. Now for Cobra, I think it's fairly commonplace that the team over at Hasbro loves a good troop builder. And the thing is, we still got a bunch of Vipers that could come down the pipe to make those troop builders happen. Of course, we already have the previously announced Hydro Viper as a pipeline reveal, so we'll see a full render of him fairly soon. But potentially down the road even further, we could see troop builders like the Heat Viper or even the Rock Viper. Now, my personal, I would really like to see a Rock Viper. I really like that guy. I think he'd make a really good addition to the G.I. Joe classified line, and you know what, go up against Alpine and all the other Joes. So I think a Rock Viper would be a good choice. Hopefully we will see him in the future. Hitting some of our other potential pools to draw from, I think I wouldn't be surprised at some point. I think maybe further down the line we will see comic book characters at some point. Now, I think the obvious one here is at some point we'll see some kind of skybound characters, and I think they will be more prone to be added to the line once possibly the cartoon that has been recently announced goes into full swing. But that being said, it'd be interesting if the G.I. Joe team drew from the Marvel comic book as well. I think a lot of people out there want Quinn, and I think a lot of people like myself thought we were going to get Quinn as part as a Hasbro HasLab Snowcat. Didn't happen, but I think the want or the need to have him is still out there. So I think if you're Hasbro, it'd be smart to add Quinn, because now you can add that to all the people that bought Snowcats and they want more snow characters. And I think the snow characters are going to come now, like Blizzard, maybe Stalker version 2. They've been on my list for a while because I personally thought they would become part of the Snowcat HasLab. It didn't happen, but I do think they're definitely in the pipeline for sure. Now, we can't forget the Iron Grenadiers, and you know what, one name that came up a lot was Voltar. He's a unique character. I think there's a good chance we get Voltar because we have to expand that Iron Grenadier line, and you know what, how can you do that without Destro? Now, I've already done a full video here on the channel about that potential Destro release, and I think that's a no-brainer. Do the spoiler, do Destro, do it as a potential exclusive just like Serpentor was, Boom, easy peasy. It's a must get. Of course, then for figures, I think the last one is pretty obvious. The last few years, we've got Nemesis Enforcer, Once a Man Cobra Commander, and now Pythona this year. You know the big boy's got to come. Globulus has to come at some point to complete that Cobra Law line. And I mean, might as well do him now, right? I think he's going to show up this year as next year's exclusive at San Diego Comic-Con. I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, let me know in the comments what you think. Now, of course, you can't forget about G.I. Joe Classified retro releases. The thing is, they can pretty much do anything they want from their main line and just put it over in retro, slap some vintage artwork on it, and that's a good release. I think they need to do some maybe older releases now to get those back out in circulation. I could see possibly Shipwreck being a good release, or even Spirit would be a good release as well, because everyone loved that Spirit release. Now, we've already seen him as part of Sergeant Slaughter's Mad Marauders, but the thing is, as Hasbro, a company, they love reusing molds multiple times, and every time they reuse a mold, it makes it cheaper for them. So you know what? Might as well put them out as a retro release and get some more sales from it. I think it could happen. Now, it's everybody's favorite part of the speculation videos. Let's talk about vehicles. Now, I'm still of the mind that I don't think we're going to get super large vehicles. G.I. Joe Classified is a big scale. I think if the people at Hasbro know anything, I think they might understand that not everyone can just, you know, deck out and go crazy and buy all these G.I. Joe Classified vehicles, because it takes up a lot of space and they're very expensive, because they keep on trying to pack drivers with vehicles that don't require drivers. That drives me insane. But long story short, I think we will see some smaller vehicles. I think the Battle Polar Bear is a given, that the Snowcat is a thing now. I've been making videos on that Battle Polar Bear coming for at least a couple years now. I think it's finally due, and I think we'll see an official release of it very, very soon. That being said, other smaller vehicles like the Fang, the Cobra Fang is a perfect smaller vehicle. It's already shown up on one of the box arts, but that being said, people go crazy about the stuff that shows up on box arts. The photographer has already said before that it just adds atmosphere to the shoots. It has nothing to do about potential product. Anyways, Cobra Fang though would be a good release. Now, a few other releases that were mentioned were possibly the Devilfish. I think that one's a good one as well, because it has a built-in repaint as in the Tigerfish, although I'm not really sure if they're going to continue on with the Tiger Force line, because a lot of these vehicles they've made can be repainted in the Tiger Force, right? So anyways, another one is a sort of a medium-sized one, depending how big you do it, would be the Shark with Deep Six. That one's a good one as well. But the number one I think we will get will be the Dreadnought's Thunder Machine. And the thing is, the Thunder Machine was rumored to be a retail release for last year and was subsequently canceled. And I think it's, at this point, it's probably a no-brainer that we will see the Thunder Machine be put as next year's HasLab. I think that's the most logical choice, given the information we have as the filming of this video. Now, speaking about HasLab, one thing that did come up over and over and over is that fans want either the Killer Whale, the Moray, or the Sky Striker as the next HasLab project. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't really know if any of those are gonna happen, because all I think about them is how big they would be. Can you imagine how big a Killer Whale in G.I. Joe Classified size would be? That thing would be huge. And you know what? Like, I know the Rattler was huge, but at least you could fold up the wings and put it away. You can't fold up a hovercraft. Anyways, I know a lot of fans out there really want the Killer Whale, would sell for a Moray, but I just don't know if it's gonna happen. The size and scale that thing would have to be would be really, really big. Anyways, let me know in the comments below, what HasLab are you really thinking it's gonna be next year? I mean, it's supposed to be probably a Cobra one next year, so I think the Dreadnought Thunder Machine does fit into that planning, but we'll have to see. Hopefully we'll get more information in June as part of Yojo June, but you know what, we'll have to see how it works out. But you know what, I gave you guys some suggestions. Let me know in the comments what you think. Either pick some of the ones that I mentioned, or you know what, feel free to provide your own. We got different things to pick from: figures, vehicles, HasLab. Let us know. Let's get a discussion on the go. While you're here, why don't you continue on either watching this video about the downfall of G.I. Joe Real American Hero, or while you're here, why don't you watch this video right here.